Right now, a weather system is forming off Western Australia's coast that could dump 150 millimetres of rain in just 24 hours. But here's what nobody's telling you yet. 3 separate weather systems are about to collide over Australia in the next 8 days, and depending on where you live, you're either about to get the rain you desperately need, or you are facing another week of bone-dry conditions. In the next 60 seconds, I'm going to show you exactly when this hits your area, which towns are in the direct path, and the 3 critical dates you need to mark on your calendar. Stay with me because at the 5-minute mark, I'll reveal which major cities are about to see their first significant rainfall in weeks. Here is the situation unfolding across Australia. A low-pressure system is currently leaving the Northern Territory and tracking into the northern half of Western Australia. The latest computer models show this system has a moderate chance of intensifying into a tropical cyclone as it drifts out to sea. We are talking about 100 millimetres or more of rain to Port Hedland within a single day, but that is just the beginning. While everyone is watching Western Australia, there's a second low pressure zone developing over northwestern Victoria and southern New South Wales. And here's the twist. These 2 systems are about to interact in ways that will determine whether Victoria finally gets the rain it needs or whether that moisture gets pushed back north. There's also a third element at play. High pressure sitting southwest of Perth stretches all the way across to Victoria and links up with high pressure over the Tasman Sea. This creates a massive dry zone across southern Australia, but this high pressure is starting to weaken in key spots, and that's what allows the rain to break through. Here's the specific timing for Western Australia, and this is urgent. Friday, the low-pressure system moves over the Kimberley region. Broome could see wet weather with thunderstorms developing through the afternoon and evening. But Saturday is when things get serious. That is when the system drifts out to sea, and ocean water is what fuels tropical cyclones. The Bureau of Meteorology is already tracking this system closely. Saturday night into Sunday is when we see the highest chance of tropical cyclone formation. Now, there is another area of low pressure to the south that might absorb some of this energy, which is why it's only a moderate risk rather than a high risk. But moderate still means you need to pay attention. By Sunday, we're re-looking at heavy rain around Port Hedland, pushing southward. 100 millimetres in 24 hours, possibly more in some locations. The rainfall isn't just heavy, it's concentrated. When you get that much rain in a short time, even areas used to tropical weather can see flash flooding. Monday, the system tracks further south toward Carnarvon. This is when the southern coastline starts seeing impacts. Tuesday is the peak day for southern Western Australia with 150 millimetres showing up north of Geraldton. Some areas that are typically bone dry, areas that haven't seen meaningful rain in months, could finally see significant rain relief. Comment below with your town or city and I'll give you the specific forecast for your area. Drop your location right now because what I'm about to reveal affects different parts of Australia in completely different ways. Here is what's happening in the centre of the country, and this is where it gets really interesting. A line of thunderstorms is currently forming near Alice Springs. This isn't just ordinary storms. We're talking about a convergence zone where different air masses meet and create lifting in the atmosphere. This convergence zone is going to sink southward through the week, bringing rain to some of the driest parts of South Australia. Friday, those showers and thunderstorms start moving into the northwestern side of New South Wales. Satellite imagery shows moisture spreading into South Australia as well. By Saturday, the thunderstorms sink down to Alice Springs and push further into the top half of South Australia. This is the first wave of moisture, but it's not the main event yet. We're re-looking at maybe 5 to 15 millimetres in scattered locations. Sunday is when things change dramatically. That line of wet weather leaves the Alice Springs area and moves more decisively into South Australia. And here is the critical detail. It starts dropping into more populated areas like Whyalla. We're re-looking at rainfall between 1 and 15 millimetres initially, but some locations could see more depending on where those thunderstorms set up. This is the kind of setup where positioning matters enormously. Monday brings the most significant rainfall potential for inland New South Wales. Areas up towards the mountains, places like Armidale and the northern tablelands could see 100 millimetres within 24 hours. Other inland locations like Dubbo, Parkes and Orange could receive 20 to 60 millimetres. It all depends on exactly where those thunderstorms form and how slow moving they are. Now, Victoria, I haven't forgotten about you, and this is where the forecast gets tricky. There is a low-pressure zone developing right over the northwestern corner of Victoria and southern parts of New South Wales. Sunday is when we might start seeing showers and thunderstorms spreading into parts of Victoria. This is your first real chance at meaningful rain in quite some time. The amounts aren't huge at first. We're talking 1 to 15 millimetres on Sunday. But here's what you need to understand about this setup. The exact position of the high pressure system to the south will determine everything. If that high pressure shrinks just a little bit, wet weather can sink further south into Victoria. If the air pressure goes up slightly more than forecast, it pushes the rain back north. It's literally a 50-50 situation right now. Monday and Tuesday are the critical days for Victoria. The European computer model shows some areas, particularly in the northeast and east, potentially getting 20 to 40 millimetres. The American model shows similar amounts, but in slightly different locations. The Bureau S model suggests the eastern half of Victoria has the best chance of rainfall. We're re-looking at a borderline setup where some areas finally get relief while others stay frustratingly dry. Let me talk about Tasmania for a moment because you're in a completely different weather pattern from the mainland. Friday stays mostly dry except for west coast showers, which is typical for this time of year. Saturday brings a similar story with possible showers forming across the hills during the afternoon. Sunday is when things shift. A more northeasterly flow develops, increasing your chances of scattered showers across the state. The cold change that everyone in Tasmania is watching for arrives next Thursday, 1 week from today. But it moves through fairly quickly, so you want to be locked into cold conditions for long. Before that cold change, Wednesday next week could bring some showers to southeastern Tasmania as a weather system tracks through. Expect 10 to 30 millimetres spread across the week. Queensland, your forecast is completely different from the rest of the country, and here is why. High pressure in the Tasman Sea is ballooning right up into central parts of the Coral Sea. This creates a blocking pattern that keeps most of Queensland dry. It's like having a lid on a pot, preventing moisture from moving in. Friday sees a bit of wet weather through the central coast, but it's scattered and light. The weekend stays mostly dry through large parts of the state. But Cairns and the far north, you are the exception to this dry pattern. The tropical weather pattern continues with the usual showers and thunderstorms. And here is the specific number you need to know. Over the next 8 days, Cairns could see up to 200 millimetres of rain. That's a proper tropical rainfall, the kind that keeps everything lush and green. Some of the computer models show slightly less, around 150 millimetres, but either way, the far north is looking at significant rainfall while Brisbane, the Gold Coast and Sunshine Coast stay mostly dry. Now, let me show you something critical about the computer modelling. The European model and the American model are reasonably close in their forecasts for the first few days. They both show that tropical low tracking south along Western Australia's coast. They both show the convergence line bringing rain from Alice Springs into New South Wales, but they start disagreeing on Tuesday and Wednesday about exactly where the heaviest rain falls. The European model tends to be slightly wetter for Victoria. The American model keeps more of the rain over New South Wales. Why does this matter? Because depending on which model is correct, some towns will get significant rain, while others 20 kilometres away stay dry. We won't know for certain until Saturday when the tropical low actually moves over the ocean and we can see how it behaves in real conditions. Let's talk temperatures because this affects how comfortable you'll be and how the weather systems develop. Friday starts with a slight temperature change for some spots as the first weather system moves through, but Monday brings a significant heat spike. Hotter weather lines up across South Australia, Western Australia and into northwestern New South Wales. We're re-talking temperatures in the mid to high 30s for many inland areas. This heat pushes into Victoria by Tuesday, but there is also a drying phase coming through at the same time, so you get the uncomfortable combination of heat without the rain to cool things down. The heat and humidity really build over New South Wales and the Australian Capital Territory by Wednesday next week. We're re-talking about low pressure dominating the top half of Australia, bringing instability, heat and humidity southward. This creates perfect conditions for afternoon thunderstorms, but it also means sticky, uncomfortable conditions for several days. South Australia, your forecast has more variability than most regions, and that makes it challenging. Friday brings some showers and thunderstorms, mainly in the north. We're re-talking about the Upper Spencer Gulf region, areas around Port Augusta. Saturday sees the wet weather sink further south, getting closer to populated areas. Sunday is when places like Whyalla, Port Pirie and even possibly the York Peninsula start seeing chances of rain. Monday continues that trend with better rainfall chances moving southward. Some areas could see 10 to 20 millimetres, which would be welcome relief. But by Tuesday and Wednesday next week, a cooler airflow comes through from the south, affecting Adelaide and surrounding areas. This cooler change brings a shift in the wind direction and can sometimes shut down the rainfall. The drier skies return to South Australia's southern regions by Thursday next week, but the northern half continues with shower activity. It's this north-south divide that makes the forecast so challenging. Some towns will think they're finally getting the rain they need, only to watch it evaporate just to the north. Specific city forecasts: Perth stays dry and warm through the weekend with easterly winds, possible rain Tuesday or Wednesday. Melbourne dry Friday and Saturday, possible showers Sunday. Best rain chance Monday to Tuesday with 10 to 30 millimetres possible for eastern suburbs. Sydney sees isolated showers Friday, increasing chances Sunday through Tuesday. Western suburbs could see 50 millimetres if thunderstorms develop overhead. Brisbane mostly dry all week with isolated showers, no significant metro rain expected. Adelaide dry through Saturday, possible showers Sunday, better chances Monday with 5 to 20 millimetres. Canberra dry Friday and Saturday, showers developing Sunday. Monday brings best rain chance with 20 to 50 millimetres possible in elevated areas. Hobart has west coast showers Friday and Saturday, increasing showers Sunday afternoon, cold change Thursday. Darwin and the top end continue typical tropical weather, with afternoon thunderstorms, daily totals of 10 to 30 millimetres possible. Katherine area sees similar conditions with thunderstorms most afternoons. The satellite imagery shows not much wet weather currently, mostly dry for southern areas. But those showers tracking around South Australia signal the pattern change beginning. The low pressure zone leaving the Northern Territory is the main feature. As it moves over the ocean Saturday, everything could change rapidly. Tropical cyclones need ocean water to fuel them. Saturday night and Sunday are critical for Western Australia. By next Thursday, the pattern looks different. Southern Western Australia sees wet weather moving through. Low pressure dominates the top half. Victoria, the Australian Capital Territory, and eastern New South Wales see mostly showers. South Australia has showers too, but drier skies return over Western Australia. 8-day rainfall totals. Western Australia northwest could see 200 to 300 millimetres, mainly coastal from Port Hedland to Carnarvon. Inland Western Australia could see 50 to 100 millimetres. Alice Springs region to northwestern New South Wales could see 50 to 100 millimetres. Victoria's eastern half could see 20 to 40 millimetres. Tasmania sees 10 to 30 millimetres from passing showers. Cairns and far north could see 150 to 200 millimetres. Most of Queensland stays under 10 millimetres. What you need to do now: first, comment below with your town or city for your detailed forecast. Second, check your local Bureau of Meteorology forecast Saturday morning for better data on the tropical low. Third, if you are in Western Australia northwest, have your cyclone plan ready. Even without a tropical cyclone, we're looking at very heavy rain. Inland New South Wales, Monday is your preparation day. Clear gutters if catching rainwater. Know your evacuation routes if in flood-prone areas. 100 millimetres in a day causes problems even in areas used to rain. Victoria, the forecast uncertainty is frustrating, but we're in a borderline setup. Small atmospheric changes make huge differences. Keep checking Saturday and Sunday when models converge on a clearer picture. The key is understanding the interaction between high and low pressure systems. High pressure keeps things dry. Low pressure brings rain and storms. We have high pressure dominating but starting to weaken in key areas. That weakening allows rain to spread further south. Watch for 3 main features over 8 days. The tropical low in Western Australia, the convergence line bringing rain from Alice Springs into New South Wales, and the small low over Victoria and southern New South Wales. Computer models update every 6 hours with new data. What they show today could change tomorrow. That is borderline weather setups. But the overall pattern is clear. Wetter weather coming for some regions, particularly Western Australia northwest, inland New South Wales, and possibly Victoria. The next 72 hours determine Australia's weather for the entire week. Saturday night into Sunday is when the tropical low makes its move. Monday is when inland New South Wales sees heaviest rain. Tuesday shows whether Victoria gets the relief it needs. I'll see you in Monday's forecast with updated tropical cyclone tracking, confirmed rainfall amounts and the extended outlook. Until then, stay weather aware, keep checking local forecast and drop your town in the comments below for your personal